I'm very protective over myself, like physically. That's why when you asked me that question before and I said it was not a sexual relationship,
Right.
because I can name on one hand the amount of people less than one hand, the amount of people I've actually been with in that way. And that's something that, no, it's not necessarily the standard, but it's because I saw things growing up that I didn't want to duplicate. Like I didn't,
Pregnancy,
right,
HIV.
pregnancy, all those things.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I really, really am very careful about myself and who I'm with. And I'll make up somebody wait a year, I don't really care. So.
You seem to get along well with kids. Is that something that even registers on your radar at all?
Yeah, I'm a great, like, babysitter. Wahoo. Send them on
Mariah,
over, pick them on up.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Like, if I met the right guy to have kids with and be married to, that's when I would want to have kids.
Right.
I am a traditionalist, believe it or not, you know, so I would want to try to do it the right way. If I would ever get married, I would want to, like, have the father, the father of the kids, you know, live in the house, be married, and have the whole thing, and have snowy Christmases, and, like, you know, a white picket
Do you think
fence.
some people don't get that you are kind of a traditional girl?
Well, they don't get it when they see, like, the Heartbreaker remix video with me washing Snoop's car, but.
Get it. She looks so traditional.
Since you've been married, I found out that supposedly you and Nick were not intimate before you got married.
Why did he tell that story?
Well, see, I don't even know how people know this, but why, Nick said that or something?
Well, he just told people, and I was like...
That y'all weren't intimate before you got
Well,
married?
we were intimate, but we weren't completely intimate in the biblical sense.
What do you mean by that, Mariah?
Oh, dear. No, I didn't want him to let everybody know that, but I never said anything about it.
Right.
I didn't say don't tell people.
Yeah, but it worked out okay.
It worked out great.
And, but is that something, because how long had you known each other before you decided to get married? Like, did you, my question is, did you purposely not do that? Did you wait to get married?
Yeah, we did.
You did? Mm-hmm. That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Did she make you wait to sleep with her before marriage?
Absolutely.
Wow.
First time that we actually sat down and met, you know, it was on some spiritual stuff, like we praying and all of that type of stuff. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even know Mariah had this side to her. And then a lot of people don't know, like, whoa, she's a really good girl and conservative when it comes to that, and deep into the Bible and all of that. And people just wouldn't think about that.
That's why I will never be a promiscuous person. I will never be on drugs. I'll never be too out of it to know what I'm doing or getting myself into. And because I saw these things growing up, I went the other way. I kind of am seriously Mary Poppins, even though I wear shorts that are kind of really short. Yeah, like, even though these shorts, I could get arrested for wearing them.
And the tops are like super low cut, and
Right.
you're like lying on the hood of a car,
Right,
and the singles cover.
Right, in my own way, seriously, in all seriousness.
Yeah.
I am kind of Mary Poppins. It's all dress up to me. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
It's fun.
It is.
You know,
It's not that deep.
It's liberating.
Right.
It's
I
funny.
mean, in the beginning, it was like very all about a high turtleneck and a low pant.
And now it's all about being naked because it's summer. It's eternally August.
Well, because I can. I'm only kidding. I'm only
I
kidding.
can afford to be naked.
No, I don't. The thing is, I can wear like a formal gown and do that stuff, but I've done it so much and for so long, I was kind of forced to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's sort of like, literally, when I was 6 years old, I would just pose in bikinis and it was fun. It's not about like, let me try and be overtly sexual.
No.
And I don't think that I am, or
No.
that comes across, but maybe some people do.
No.
I don't know.
It doesn't seem...
Sometimes I still wear just a plain old black dress, and sometimes I feel like dressing up and wearing something fun and sexy, but it's kind of like when you're a little girl and you play dress up. That's what it is for me. It's not any like big, you know, statement or anything like that. It's fun to dress up every now and then, but it's not like my whole thing. I think my main focal point has always been my voice and my songs. I think it sells, but I think a lot of artists are very disposable because all they are is about their image. And if they make great music and they have a voice that people want to hear for years to come, then they're going to last. But if it's only the sexiness, well, some people have survived 20 plus years on that. But I mean, you know, that's kind of, I don't think that can happen more than once.
There's a quote going around at the moment. You're saying, you know, you might dress sexy, act sexy, sing a bit sexy, but you're actually a bit of a prude.
Oh, that's been a quote. Actually, I say I'm like Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's accurate?
Well, kind of. Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
I'm just self-protective. That's my whole thing. I'm just like, I'm not about like being with this one and that one to quote my own song by the pool and the beach and the streets. That is from Shake It Off, The Emancipation of Mimi, 2005.
Yeah.
Riding on top of the car in the pink little number was my favorite setup because that's something that I would really do in real life. Everything else, I know it's kind of racy or whatever, and it's weird because like I can do that kind of thing, but in real life, I'm Mary Poppins.
How can you call me a stripper?
No,
I was
I don't
Mary
mean-
Poppins.
I don't mean
for
you're
the
a
first
stripper.
5 years of my career.
My friends make fun of me because I'm very much like Mary Poppins.
I think you're being naughty.
Darling, no, because there's always the innocence behind the eyes.
That's what it is.
Sorry, it's there.
We decided.
Mary Poppins.
I really am a very spiritual person, and that's why I think my vocals on this album are probably my most heartfelt and authentic vocals. Meaning that when I listen to it, I know that I was really feeling it when I sang it. Definitely, I have to. I mean, I owe everything to my belief in God and to my prayers, and I really believe that I wouldn't be here if I didn't have the faith, you know.
You question what will happen when we die because you asked the question.
You have no questions about it?
I already know. No, I do not.
You
I
do?
have faith.
You have faith?
Yes,
All right,
I do.
Good.
The assured expectation of things hoped for, the evidence of things yet unseen.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Hebrews 11.
If this kid makes it, it's going to be a miracle. Those were the words I heard a cop say after I survived my first violent storm. I was 6 years old. In the midst of that turmoil, God gave me a lifeline made of vision, music, and faith. Because Lord knows there would be many more storms ahead. But through it all, I never let go of that rope of faith. Now, faith is the assured expectation of things hoped for, the evidence of things yet unseen. Hebrews 11:1. I knew I had to revive and recommit to my relationship with God. I'm eternally grateful to have met my pastor, Bishop Clarence Keaton, when I did. I met him through Tots. We used to attend church together at True Worship Church Worldwide Ministries, right across from the Louis Pinkhouse's projects in East New York. Tots and I were even rebaptized there together. At True Worship, I became a student of the Bible during a 3-year intensive. We went through it from Old to New Testament. I took notes, and I took the healing words in. I would have security provided by the church, and the congregation would respect my privacy. The bishop saw to it. I found community in the church and family in my bishop who treated me like a daughter. He often came to talk to me, even when he was going through health issues toward the end of his life. It was such an honor to solidify Bishop Keaton's legacy as a great spiritual teacher in my life and in the world by featuring him on 2 of my songs, I Wish You Well and Fly Like a Bird. He and the True Worship Choir joined me on Good Morning America to perform Fly Like a Bird before he took flight on July 3rd, 2009. Having a family in God brought me back to my life in the light. Pat couldn't understand. She left me a snide phone message on my BlackBerry. What is this with you and your new friends and your new prayers? None of my biological family understood what it meant to care so much about God. I've always had a very personal relationship, a very special connection to God in terms of just feeling like I'm a very spiritual person from the time I was a baby, like a kid, like I can remember those moments. And if you look at pretty much every album, there's one kind of gospel-influenced song or at least one reference to, you know, being thankful or, you know, just something of that nature on almost probably every album that I've ever made. What works for me? Prayer works for me.
Okay.
Reading the Bible does work for me because knowledge is power. That's what works for me. I mean, honestly, it's like if you're not spiritually centered, you're kind of back and forth. I listen to a lot of gospel music in my spare time, more than I listen to pop or R&B even. And I think that that's shown up a lot in my writing. You know, I listen to people like the Clark Sisters, Shirley Caesar, the Edwin Hawkins singers, you know, just for my own personal enjoyment. And I just bring tapes everywhere I go, and I sit down and I listen to it, and it really motivates me. And I think that it's shown up in different songs that I've written, whether it be the piano arrangements or the vocal arrangements, and it's really a major influence on me. Well, I sing every day just for my own enjoyment. I sing constantly. I mean, I never go anywhere without the radio and my tapes that I bring with me everywhere. But
what tapes do you bring with you? Can I ask you that?
I bring a lot of different tapes. I bring a lot of gospel tapes that are like really obscure things, and then a few more well-known things. I listen to the Clark Sisters a lot, the Edwin Hawkins singers, Aretha Franklin I'll always have with me, Stevie Wonder, and then whatever new stuff I'm into. But I usually just listen to the radio for that.
Madonna.
I really haven't paid attention to Madonna since I was in like 7th or 8th grade when she used to be popular, so I didn't hear that.
Madonna also here tonight. Did you congratulate her on a new baby?
No, I didn't. I didn't see her.
And what?
You know, when they talk about gay icons, I'm not even sure necessarily what that means, but would you consider yourself up there, you know?
You know what? It's so weird with the words icon and idol and this and that, and you know, it's difficult for me because I'm like literally like I try to relate to each person as an individual. So it's like, you know, I'll speak about things, well, this particular demographic, it's like I try to be so politically correct because I know how it feels when people don't necessarily realize all the things that I am.
I really don't feel like it's appropriate for me to go on a tangent because I'm just an entertainer. I'm not a political analyst.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You snuck in the political on me. It's so hard because I'm just an entertainer, and I'm not a political analyst.
Yes.
So I don't want to be like, I don't want to be vocal about my true feelings about all of this.
Right.
But I
can
have
understand
them.
that. Yeah.
I have them.
You don't want to isolate part of your audience, and
It's more than that. It's that I don't think it's necessarily appropriate for me to do so.
Uh-huh.
I'd just like to thank God for the blessings that have brought me here.
So thank you, God, for making all my dreams come true. First of all, I'd just like to thank God for every blessing in my life. It's so incredible. Thank you.
Thank you, God. The only reason I am here is because of the grace of God, and if you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer.
If I've learned anything at all in this life, is that truly all things are possible with God. Lord knows dreams are hard to follow, but don't let anyone tear them away. Hero. In the middle of a violent storm, very young, I was given a glimpse of God's vision for me. As a child awakened to my dream, I believed with my entire being in what I was meant to do and who I was meant to be long before anyone else did. And holding on to that belief required everything I had. Along the way, I was given signs of hope, but mostly I faced chaos and calamity, heartbreaks and brutal betrayals to derail me. Some almost killed me, or worse, almost killed my spirit. For I assure you, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will tell this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible to you. Matthew 17:20. In the end, and in the beginning, it's all about faith for me.